This weekend, a major weather system is stirring up trouble in the upper Midwest, bringing a mix of severe weather conditions that could impact daily life and safety. Centered over South Dakota and Minnesota, where residents are already seeing the first signs of the approaching storm. A powerful low-pressure system is clashing warm, moist southern air with cooler, drier northern air along a slow-moving cold front through the Mississippi Valley. This collision of air masses is creating a volatile atmosphere ripe for severe weather. The Storm Prediction Center has flagged southern Nebraska and central Kansas for severe weather risk. Damaging winds, large hail, and even a few tornadoes are possible. This area is under a heightened alert, and residents should be prepared for sudden changes in weather conditions. Cities like Colby, Hill City, and Great Bend should stay alert this afternoon and evening. Local authorities are urging people to stay indoors and avoid unnecessary travel during the peak of the storm. Thunderstorms will develop along the front, fueled by daytime heating and strong upper-level winds, making for a dangerous setup in affected communities. These storms could bring intense lightning, heavy downpours, and sudden gusts of wind. Make sure you have a safety plan and a way to receive weather warnings. It's crucial to stay informed through reliable sources and have a designated safe space in your home. As night falls, storms will weaken but still bring heavy rain and gusty winds as they move east. The reduced visibility and slick roads can make nighttime travel hazardous. The threat shifts overnight, with the front continuing across the Central Plains into Saturday. By morning, the system will have moved further east, but lingering effects will still be felt. Even as fall approaches, this system is a reminder of nature's power. The changing seasons do not diminish the potential for severe weather events. Stay tuned for updates as these storms move through the heartland. Continuous monitoring and timely information can make all the difference in staying safe during severe weather. Beyond the threat of severe weather, the rainfall from this system is a major headline in itself. For many, the hope is that these showers will bring much-needed relief to parched landscapes and struggling crops, but the reality is more complicated. Despite the arrival of rain, it won't be enough to end the drought for most areas. The ground remains thirsty, and reservoirs are still well below normal levels. Farmers and communities hoping for a soaking will likely be disappointed. Rainfall will be scattered and highly uneven. Some towns may experience brief but intense downpours, while neighboring areas just a few miles away could stay almost completely dry. It's a classic case of hit-or-miss summer rain. In the upper Midwest, including the Twin Cities and Milwaukee, most locations will likely see only a quarter to half an inch of rain at best. For many, it will feel like just a tease, enough to dampen the ground, but not enough to make a real difference. Farther south, heavier rain is possible, especially near Omaha, Kansas City, and stretching into northeastern Oklahoma, southeastern Kansas, and southern Missouri. Here, some spots could pick up as much as an inch and a half, leading to localized flooding in low-lying areas. Most places won't see a steady, soaking rain. Instead, expect waves of showers and storms, with dry breaks in between. The sun may even peek out between downpours, creating a patchwork of wet and dry. If you have outdoor plans, be prepared to dodge unpredictable pop-up showers, a hallmark of late summer storm systems. Events may be interrupted by sudden bursts of rain, only to clear up minutes later. By Sunday, the heaviest rain shifts eastward into the Mississippi and Ohio valleys. However, as the system moves, the intensity drops off, and rainfall becomes lighter and more sporadic. Many in the eastern Corn Belt and Ohio Valley will miss out on significant rain this round, with only light showers or sprinkles expected. The drought will persist for these regions, and the need for rain remains urgent. Looking ahead, the stage is set for a much bigger and potentially more impactful storm system next week. Forecasters are already watching its development closely. All eyes are turning to what's coming, as communities hope the next round will finally bring the soaking rains they desperately need. As fall officially begins, forecasters are tracking a potentially game-changing storm for the eastern U.S. next week. Both the European and American weather models agree. A strong low-pressure system will organize over the central U.S. and move northeast, pulling in Gulf moisture and producing widespread heavy rain. The Ohio Valley and Mid-Atlantic, suffering from drought, could see 2 to 4 inches of rain, enough to make a real difference. Cities like Louisville, Cincinnati, and Nashville are in line for a thorough soaking. Model consistency boosts confidence in this forecast, but the exact track and timing are still being fine-tuned. A slight shift could change which areas get the heaviest rain, but the signal is clear. A major rain event is likely. Gusty winds and a dramatic temperature drop will accompany the rain. This is the best chance for drought relief in weeks. We'll track every update as the storm develops. To understand why this storm matters, take a look at the latest U.S. Drought Monitor. It's a stark reminder of just how widespread and severe the drought has become across much of the country. The Ohio and mid-Mississippi valleys are facing rapidly worsening drought. Fields that were once green and thriving are now brown and brittle, and the landscape is changing before our eyes. Severe and extreme drought is expanding in places like the Missouri Boot Heel and northwestern Tennessee. Farmers are watching their crops wither, and communities are growing more concerned as the situation intensifies. In western Kentucky, the impact is especially harsh. Crops are failing, rivers are running at historic lows, and the ground is so parched that even the hardiest plants are struggling to survive. The effects ripple through local economies and daily life. What's desperately needed is a slow, soaking rain, enough to replenish the soil, restore groundwater, and give farmers hope for recovery. Without it, the drought will only deepen. This is where weather models become absolutely crucial. These sophisticated computer simulations help meteorologists predict when and where rain might finally arrive, and how much relief it could bring. The American GFS and European ECMWF models each use different methods and data, but when both point to a major storm, it's a sign that the forecast is on solid ground. This agreement boosts our confidence in what's coming. Ensemble forecasting takes this a step further. By running models many times with slight variations, scientists can see a range of possible outcomes and spot patterns that suggest a high likelihood of rain. When most ensemble members agree on heavy rain, it's a strong signal that a significant weather event is likely. This consensus is what meteorologists look for before sounding the alarm. That's why we're confident about next week's potential storm. The data is lining up, and the models are in rare agreement. Reliable model agreement is like getting a second expert opinion. It reassures forecasters and the public that the threat is real and action may be needed. The science and technology behind these forecasts allow us to prepare days in advance, giving communities time to get ready for what's ahead and make informed decisions. We'll keep watching the data for any changes, updating forecasts as new information comes in, and making sure you have the latest details. The coming storm could be a turning point for drought-stricken regions, offering not just rain, but a much-needed sense of hope for the future. The nation's temperature map is split. Summer heat lingers in the north while fall chill settles in the west and northeast. A dome of warm air is pushing temperatures 25 degrees above normal in Canada and spilling into the northern U.S. Meanwhile, a trough is bringing cooler air to the southwest, northeast, Alaska, and western Canada. This sharp temperature divide is fueling the upcoming storm system. By midweek, warmth will surge into the eastern U.S. and southern Canada, setting the stage for heavy rain. The classic setup: a strong storm draws in warm, moist air ahead of a cold front, triggering major weather events. Cooler air will persist in the west, while the east basks in unseasonable warmth and humidity. This temperature contrast will dominate through September, driving both rain and other hazards. Strong winds and wildfire threats, especially in California, are also on the radar. The dynamic pattern is shaping a volatile end to the month. In the Atlantic, Tropical Storm Gabrielle is strengthening and could become a hurricane soon, but it's expected to stay over open water. A weakness in the Bermuda High will steer Gabrielle north and east, away from the U.S., though Bermuda should watch for gusty winds and high surf. Elsewhere, a tropical wave off Africa has only a low chance of development due to dry Saharan air. The pattern steering Gabrielle out to sea is expected to persist into early October, reducing the risk of U.S. landfalls. Florida could see above normal rain from a possible homegrown system, but no major threats are imminent. The Atlantic remains active, but the main threats are staying offshore for now. We'll keep monitoring for any changes. Stay alert, especially if you're in Bermuda or along the southeast coast. Hurricane season isn't over yet. While the Atlantic quiets down, the eastern Pacific is heating up. A disturbance off southern Mexico could become a tropical cyclone next week, with conditions ripe for development. Most models show it moving west, away from land, but a few suggest a track closer to Mexico or Baja California by September 26th. Even if it stays offshore, Dangerous surf and rip currents are possible along the Mexican coast. Rainfall could increase along the shore depending on the storm's path. The eastern Pacific is expected to stay active into early October. Each system needs close monitoring. One shift could mean big impacts. We'll provide daily updates as this system develops. Stay tuned for any changes in the forecast. While storms brew in the south, winter is arriving early in the far north. Cold air from a deep trough is bringing snow to the mountains of southeast Alaska, the Yukon, and northwest Canada. Some peaks could see several feet of snow, building the crucial snowpack for next spring. This early snow is a dramatic sign of the changing seasons and the continent's diverse climate. The powerful jet stream is pulling Arctic air south, opening the refrigerator door for western Canada and Alaska. For winter sports enthusiasts, it's a promising start to the season. This cold air also sharpens the temperature contrast, fueling next week's big storm. Everything in the atmosphere is connected. As fall begins, several key weather stories demand attention. Today's severe weather threat in the Central Plains, damaging winds, hail, and tornadoes, requires immediate vigilance. Scattered, locally heavy rain will move through the central U.S. this weekend, but drought relief will be limited. Next week's major storm could finally bring widespread rain to the drought-stricken Ohio Valley and Mid-Atlantic. Santa Ana winds may spark wildfire concerns in California late next week. In the tropics, we're watching Gabrielle and a new Pacific system, plus early snow in the far north. From storms to droughts to hurricanes and snow, the weather is active and volatile as we shift seasons. Stay informed and prepared. This is just the start of a busy autumn.